Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be looking into increasing efficiency within the food chains, and this comes under the topic energy and ecosystems of the A-level biology curriculum. We'll just be carrying on from the last video of the energy transfer. So increasing efficiency within human food chains. So if you remember, the formula for the net production is just N is equal to I minus F plus R. And if we want to increase the efficiency within the human food chain, we need to increase N, which is the net production, as much as possible. And for us to do that, we must minimize the energy loss to feces, urine, as well as respiration. And this is our focus to increase the efficiency. So first, what we can do is we can restrict the movement of the animals which we are trying to increase the efficiency of. So what we could do is by restricting the movement, there will be less respiration due to muscle contraction. So for example, in this, the chickens are in these cages, so they aren't really able to move around, and so there will be less respiration because there will be less muscle contraction, and that's why less energy will be lost. Also, keeping these animals indoors and controlling the temperature, we can control the temperature of the hall which we are storing these animals in, and this ensures that the animals aren't losing heat, because the animals have to maintain this constant environment, because this constant temperature inside their bodies for their body to work, and to do that it requires energy. If you kept them outside in the cold, it would require more energy, because more energy would be required to get the temperature which would be required. So keeping them indoors, controlling the temperature, reduces the heat loss from their body. And also feeding animals the optimum type. So by optimum type, what we mean is the food which contains the nutrients for growth, so they can grow quickly, and as well as the food which is easier to absorb, so the food which can be absorbed by these animals, so there will be less feces, so less energy lost. Next, the animals are slaughtered when they're still young, so when they're still growing, and this is because so more energy is transferred to biomass, and it also saves time, because if you wait for the animal to grow to their full, it can take a bit of time, but if you just slaughter them young, this is a very quick process, and some animals just live for months. Selective breeding, so you could breed the genetically productive together, so this would just increase productivity. So an example is of the Belgian bull. This breed the most productive together, so the ones with the most muscles, and this just results in this Belgian blue bull forming. So as you can see, this has a lot of muscles, so a lot of meat. And finally, we could use hormones to increase growth rate. So the growth hormones can be given to the animals so they grow faster. All right, so now looking at increasing the efficiency within non-humid food chains. So we could increase the efficiency by simplifying food webs to reduce competitions. And we could simplify food webs by, for example, using pesticides and herbicides, so killing pests and herbs such as weeds. So for example, if this is our food web and we're trying to have as high as possible yield of wheat grains as possible, but we have all this competition, and this is eating away our yield. So what we could do is we could combination of herbicides and pesticides, so these grasshoppers would be killed by the pesticides, and also if there's weeds around it, and these could be killed by the herbicides, and so this would just reduce the competition, so we can get a higher yield of the wheat grain we want. And we could also have a monoculture. So this is where we grow the same crop over a large area. So for example, this. So we're growing the same crop over all this huge area. Okay, so the advantage is, and there's more space for crops to grow. So looking at this area, there's a huge area for all these crops to grow. And also there would be easier accessible machinery because again it has such a big area, and we can have really big machines which would be more efficient than the smaller machines, and we can just produce more food with these machineries. So there will also be less competition, and because we are only growing this one type of crop or this one type of plant, it doesn't really have to compete against other crops or other plants, and if we're using pesticides as well, there won't be much pests, so it's free to grow, and that's an advantage. Okay, now looking at disadvantages, because we're only growing that one type of crop, it's very easy for diseases to spread, and because there will be a very low genetic diversity because we only have one crop. And also these diseases can spread very, very quickly because there's like a large area which is covered by the same plants, and yeah, this allows the diseases to spread quickly. And finally, because we have removed hedgerows, so usually there would be hedgerows separating these, but because we remove these hedgerows, it removes habitats. So there was habitats living in the hedgerows, but now because the hedgerows have been removed, it removes habitats, and that would further decrease genetic diversity, and also we remove food sources by removing hedgerows, and this can also cause soil erosion. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe to see more of these, and you can watch my recent videos by clicking on the links popping up. Thank you.